Welcome to the High Stakes Fantasy Network podcast. Brought to you by PlayNFC.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the High Stakes Fantasy Network. We are having a live stream tonight with James Roday Rodriguez. James, welcome to our live stream draft, and good luck tonight. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I presume this is a football draft. Is that correct, Gregory?
It is. It's a football draft, my friend.
Right. Good to know. Good to know for starters.
You have the second pick, in fact. So you're doing this because of the actors' strike. You're unemployed right now. You've got nothing better to do than just do a fantasy football draft, right?
That is correct. My other option was taking a bubble bath, and I realize I can do that later.
Well, I'm going to take one later as well. Tom, how about you? You taking a bubble bath?
I just want to say I'm glad neither of you guys is taking the bubble bath right now. So you're both fully clothed, and we're drafting. I'm very glad to see that right now. That's all.
Well, you do not know if we're both fully clothed. That's for sure. James, where the hell did you go here?
Clothed.
Yeah, we're partially closed here. All right, James has the second pick here. Hopefully, he comes back to us. I don't know where his monitor went. You still there with us?
Yeah, I can see myself, and I can see you guys, and I don't know what's the problem here, Greg.
I don't know. It's a black screen, but you're up in a couple of seconds here. All right, this is a RotoWire Online Championship, $250,000 grand prize. James has the second pick. It's to beat James Roday. He's never looked better, actually. But I wish you would get your face back on here. I don't know what happened to you.
All right, hold on. I'm on the clock.
Yeah,
this is a lot that you're asking me to do at the same time. So just give me 2 seconds here.
You've had all day to think about this pick now, and it's a tough one.
All right, hold on. I was in the wrong draft room, so it happens. The first name I saw that was available to me was Christopher Morel. We know that's not right.
That's the wrong draft room.
Here we go. I'm looking at a board that's got Jamar Chase at the top. He's the guy that seems to be the consensus number 2 pick at this very early stage in the drafting process. And who am I at this very early point in the draft to go against the grain? So I will go chalk, and I will select Joe Burrow's number 1 option on offense.
All right. Now kill your phone or whatever you're on and come back in. I'll let you back in. How's that sound?
Let's see. I'm doing it all on my computer. Everything
How'd you go black?
Everything was fine.
Yep. And then you did something.
I did something. All right. I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come right back.
All right.
That's the only thing I know how to do.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll let you back in. All right, Tom, here we go. We got chalk. I did talk with James today. He wasn't sure about Chase. We've been watching our drafts, and Chase is still going number 2, even with the Burrow injury. But McCaffrey is going second in some drafts. What would you do if you had the second pick tonight?
I'm not changing my approach. I'd still take Jamar Chase. I think Joe Burrow is going to be ready for week 1. I'm not overly concerned about that injury. So to me, it's still Jefferson 1, Jamar Chase 2. At this point, there's been no negative change with Joe Burrow's situation. So I'm going to hang in there with Jamar Chase at 2.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So we got James back, thankfully. Now, don't touch anything, all right?
All right.
Don't touch anything. Just talk to us. Hey, your man Derrick Henry just went 5th overall. He's been going the 3rd round. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but Amon-Ra St. Brown went 6th. So we've got a wild start to this one already.
What type of coterie did you put together for this draft?
I don't know. You are crazy. A Titans fan, and you wouldn't even take him 5th overall.
I was hoping he'd be there for me on the way back, Greg.
He would have been in most drafts.
Wow. All right.
All right. So talk about your Chase pick, because you were kind of undecided. The injury to Burrow, but come on, he's Joe Burrow. He'll be ready for week 1, right?
Yeah. I hadn't done a deep dive on the Burrow situation. But after I texted you, I took the 17 seconds to Google it. And it sounds like he's going to be just fine by the time the games start counting. So that's good enough for the likes of me.
Yeah, stick with Chase there. Tom and I said the same thing. We would have taken Chase there for sure. So I like it. All right, we've got a wild first round already. We already got 4 running backs. We hardly ever see 4 running backs in the first round. Usually is Eckler, McCaffrey, and Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson goes 9th right now. I hosted Nelson Sousa from FTN Fantasy last Friday night. He had the second pick. He took Bijan. He's all in on Bijan.
Well, he's a very shiny new toy, isn't he?
Yes,
we
he
haven't
is. Yes,
we haven't been this excited about a running back since, I guess, Saquon, and a guy who can do it all, who can stay on.
No, there was one after that, James. We were so hyped with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that rookie running back. He was going 3rd or 4th overall, and it did not work as well as Saquon going that high.
This is a good point. He was really supposed to be a wonder in that Andy Reid offense.
He was.
Yeah.
That first Thursday night game, Tom, we were watching up in the Bellagio suite. I think he had about 6 chances from the one and never got in the end zone many times. And he caught like 6 passes that game, but he couldn't get in the end zone. And so it was kind of discerning, but such is life. So, all right, let's get this screen up a little bit higher here for you so you can all see here. But this is a 12-team, 20-round. There we go. A little better there. 12-team, 20-round draft with Fab. We pay the top 2 in each league $1,500 to first place, $750 to second place, and then $250,000 to the grand prize. Now, you said you're in baseball mode here. How are your baseball teams doing? We saw you in Las Vegas. You, me, and Tom, last time we saw each other, we were in a bar for a couple of hours. How's those baseball teams doing?
The team that I drafted live is a dumpster fire. And the team that I drafted on the fly that I wasn't even planning on doing, but I started to feel weird about my live draft. I drafted a team the morning of opening day. I think it was the last online main. And I jumped in there at the last second because I was like, you know what? I just didn't feel like I trusted my gut enough in that main event draft. And it turns out I was right. And that second team I grabbed is still competing. If things were to go my way, I could be in the mix for a league championship.
Nice.
So that's where that one is.
All right. So without saying it, because you're being so polite, you threw Sean Childs' cheat sheets aside, drafted without any of his stuff, and now you're doing great, right? And the dumpster fire is a Sean Childs dumpster fire.
It is, and in all fairness, Sean's teams are also dumpstery. So it tracks that since we took the same guys, the teams aren't doing so great.
And I know many people who used his cheat sheets and are not doing as well. But Sean's fighting; he's trying to get back into the mix here. So
I don't know if you saw it, but Joe Ryan went on the ever mysterious second half collapse groin strain IR trip today.
Yeah, I think they put him there just to save him from hurting himself anymore. So, all right, Tom, let's look at this first round. Cooper Kupp falls to 12. You were just tweeting about it that you didn't think he fell enough yesterday. Well, he's fallen a little bit more today, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did go 6th in the first RotoWire tonight, but he went 11th in our $150 Best Ball Championship Express. So here he goes 12th. And that's honestly where I thought he was going to go in drafts last night. Derek and I were talking about it on our Sirius show. His ADP in all the live drafts last night was 7 overall. I was surprised that he didn't fall further, but it does look like now he is starting to fall to the back end of the first round, which is kind of where I thought he was going to go after the hamstring injury news on Tuesday.
All right, we're having some wild picks here in the second round. Team 5, he goes Henry and Jackson.
Wow.
Picks him ahead of Mahomes. So, James, this is getting wild coming back to you.
I don't know what to do. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's happening to us.
You have a myriad of options, I'm telling you, in 2 picks.
I'm thankful that we're all together, but other than that, it feels like something is afoot.
It does. It does.
I guess I thought for sure that the king would fall to me and that would be my start. I'm wondering if maybe I should still go with the best running back on the board, but it feels odd to have Najee Harris as an RB1.
Yeah, that feel odd.
Josh Jacobs might not play this season. That's problematic. But look who's sitting there. The diminutive Tony Pollard,
there you go.
who can't handle a full workload, but boy, oh boy, when he's on the field, he generally makes exciting things happen.
Well, you've talked him up so far.
Yeah, it's either going to be him or Devonta Smith, gentlemen. That's where I'm at. And why take a wide receiver 2 when you can take an RB1? Come on down, Tony.
Well, you took 55 seconds to explain that pick, but Tom, you like that pick, don't you? I mean, listen, we've been talking about starting with 3 wide receivers. I mean, that's the way a lot of teams are going this year, but hey, it doesn't hurt to have a good RB1, and he should be all alone there in Dallas unless they bring Zeke back, but it doesn't look like it right now.
Yeah, I like the pick.
I'm going to try to draft an entire team with a week 7 bye, so keep your eye on that.
Don't worry about the buys at this point. Gee whiz, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Tom, you like Pollard there, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like the pick. Now, this draft obviously is off the rails already, and we're 25 picks in. But yeah, I like the pick there, James. I mean, Tony Pollard's a really nice player, and like Greg said, don't worry about bye weeks at this point. Just take the best players off the board.
All right, we're looking at Team 12. Started out with Kupp and A.J. Brown. Decided to go quarterback there. Did not want to go with the stack of Brown and Hurts. Went Allen instead. Certainly can't argue with that. But Tom, we've been seeing a lot of stacks. In fact, one tonight I saw was Kelsey at 11, and then Mahomes went 3-2. Yeah. So that's a unique Kelsey Mahomes build, and we've seen more of that. So we have a Mahomes Hill build, but unfortunately, or stack, but unfortunately, Hill's with Miami right now, so that doesn't count. But what's your thoughts on Team 12? Would you have gone Hurts or Allen there?
I would have gone Hurts. I wouldn't. I mean, certainly if you like Allen more than Hurts, I get it. But I mean, if you got a chance to go for the stack there, I probably would have taken Hurts just to get the stack. Yeah, I would have gone Hurts. I do like Hurts more than Allen. That's personal preference. So I get it if you do feel that strongly about Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts. But passing up the stack there is awfully hard to do, I think.
Yeah. James, are you a man who likes to stack?
Greg, I've been stacking since the early 90s.
See, I set you up for that one.
You did. No, I think if you can get a build going where you're not having to reach big time to make a stack happen, then it often makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing an awful lot of that this year. Tom, I mean, you've been watching a lot of drafts, but I did one the other night where 4 teams lined up their quarterback and their wide receiver was, Allen Diggs, it was Mahomes, Kelsey, it was Brown, Hurts, it was Keenan Allen and Herbert as well. So we're seeing more of that, aren't we, Tom?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we had we spotlighted a cut line draft on the Sirius show last night. Talked to 3 guests. All 3 of them are like adamant about wanting to do that. Mm-hmm. In the cut line with $75,000 on the line, saying that's a strategy they wanted to employ to go after that big grand prize. So yeah, I think we're seeing that more and more often in season long. Obviously, it's been a DFS staple, but I do think it's something in season long that's becoming more and more popular and prevalent.
All right, a couple of guys we wanted to keep an eye on. Again, Bijan went 9th. Jonathan Taylor goes 17th. He's certainly gone lower. I don't know what's going to happen there. Once you get in Jim Irsay's bus, he wants out. So we'll see what happens there. All right, James, you are on the clock, 3rd round reversal. Had a string of wide receivers go before you. Harris went before you. Jacobs went. Gibbs. What are you thinking about here?
I think it's time to get another wide receiver because they're flying off quick and in a strange order. So I'm buying in at least at this point on San Diego turning Justin Herbert loose this year, and that being the case, I certainly want a piece of that offense. So I'm going to take the tried and true Keenan Allen here and hope that he's got one more wide receiver 1 year left in him.
All right, you are in Los Angeles, I believe. They are no longer called the San Diego Chargers. They're Los Angeles Chargers.
Right. They're not my team, Greg.
Don't worry, I do that on our Sirius XM show, and then Tom's got to correct me there. So, all right, Team 1 starts out with 3 wide receivers. James, you've got Jamar, Pollard, and Allen coming right back at you in another pick here. So we've got 2 teams that started out with 3 wide receivers, Team 6 and Team 1. Team 5 went with Amari Cooper. So he started out, we'll keep an eye on 5. He's got a unique strategy, maybe a year behind. We'll see. But all right, 4 wide receivers, the team 1. There we go. No RB strategy right there. James?
I'm about to throw my swerve into the mix. Since everybody else has gone completely crazy, I might as well get in on the fun here, and I'm going to take this man at his word that he's ready to go and that he's made out of machine parts, and I'm going to take Javonte Williams.
Ooh. We don't know if he's made out of machine parts, though.
Thus the rub, Greg.
Oh, all right. So you still like to have 2 running backs, 2 good running backs. What's going on this year is an awful lot of like a hero running back, 1 main guy, and then getting a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah, I guess I've been doing this so long that it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to change for a leopard to change its spots, Greg. And I do. I like 2 running backs that I don't have to think about on a week-to-week basis.
Yep. Tom, we're seeing less of that, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to look at team 1 right there, right? 4 wide receivers out of the gate. Team 12, 2 wide receivers and a top quarterback. Certainly, team 10, 2 wide receivers and a tight end. I mean, it's certainly a lot of high stakes players. Team 6, of course. I mean, a lot of high stakes players just going away from that approach. But again, we talk about this all the time. It's a lot of different ways to skin the cat. It's just for my thought process, it's the easiest way that I want to try to get a path to success, but by no means is there just one way. That's what makes this game so much fun. There's a lot of different ways to win this game. So certainly you can go with 2 good running backs, or in the case of team 3 there, even though he's got Christian McCaffrey, he's gone after 2 more really good running backs, even with Christian McCaffrey. So he's going after a different strategy here as well tonight.
Yeah, this is a crazy draft to start off. I mean, you don't see 2 teams usually start out with 4 wide receivers. Again, we'll watch and see what 10 and 12 do if they ignore. The reason why people are doing this is because rounds 5, 6, and 7, there are some interesting running backs in those areas. So we'll see what comes back to you here. So you did not think about stacking Burrow or even Herbert with Allen, did you?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Greg. I do have hopes that maybe in this very strange draft, Herbert will slide, and if that's the case, I'll be jumping on that horse. Right. If not, it looks like I'm going to be stack less, unless you don't know who's going to fill that 3rd wide receiver spot for me. True. I might have something up my sleeve.
That's true. All right, there you go. Herbert's off the board. See, Burrow and Herbert. Burrow.
You jinxed it, Greg.
Pretty far. Nah, he was going before he got back to you. You had your chance to stack if you wanted to.
And instead, I took a wide receiver, or rather a running back coming off a gruesome knee injury. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, all right, Tom, you and I can be honest with James. We're not on Javonte Williams because we're afraid he's like a year away from really being the Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad ace. I mean, like James just said, a gruesome injury. So we'll see. But all the reports right now are positive coming out of Denver. We just got the word today that Sean Payton plans to play him in the preseason, maybe as early as week 2. So we'll see. I mean, it's not unheard of for a running back to come back from an ACL. Adrian Peterson did it. Jamal Charles did it. It's bucking the odds. Most running backs don't come back year 1 from an ACL, but 2 running backs have done it out of the last 30. So maybe it'll be 3 out of 31 or out of 32. Of course, Breece Hall trying to come back as well this year.
He's got one thing going for him that we don't, gentlemen, and that's the sweet bird of youth.
Yeah,
he's got more. He's got more than one thing going for him that we don't have.
All right, Team 10 goes 4 pass catchers as well. So we've got 3 teams that are, I guess, doing the no RB. We'll see what happens in round 5, but at this point, it looks like a no RB, and we'll see what happens to Team 12 here. Starts out with 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. So interesting stuff. So James, if you're still on strike, are you coming to Vegas at all or not? Won't that be in the plans?
I think I will make it to Vegas. Greg, for the first time in a while, to live draft my sack. Oh. I think we should probably lean towards sacking it as opposed to sucking it. But My sack cancer draft this year, which we're very excited about. We're going into our fourth year?
Yeah, we started in 2020. This is our fourth year. Yeah.
This is the year, man. This is the year that one of the superheroes takes the whole thing home for Connor's Cure.
All right. So if people don't know what this is, James thought about it in the pandemic, said we got to do some good. We can do it within the fantasy industry. Let's raise money for the V Foundation. He recruited the Miz. The Miz loves Connor's Cure, which is pediatric cancer research within the V Foundation. So we said, sign up, compete against the celebrities, and they were going to donate whatever they won to the V Foundation. Unfortunately, they didn't win anything that year, but James was nice enough to say he would pay $1,000 to anybody who finished ahead of him in the league standings. And boy, did we raise money off of that, didn't we?
Thanks, Greg.
But
no,
we had
start
other
somewhere. You gotta crawl before you can walk.
Yeah, we gave $100 for every team that signed up, and then other people donated as well. Honestly, through 3 years, we've given over $40,000 to the V Foundation, and the V Foundation loves what we're doing. They've worked with WWE. Last year, Michael Kuzma got 2 tickets to WrestleMania both days, and WWE, we're talking to them right now, but we think we're going to have the same thing again. So we have 5 primetime sack cancer leagues this year. James Roday, why don't you give the lineup, James?
All right, we got a couple newbies this year. Stalwarts, The Miz and myself, who are still way overdue for a big performance and at least a league title. And this year we'll be joined by Michael Fabiano, who up to this point has actually done the best out of any of our sack cancer superheroes. So we're leaning on him and his expert knowledge heavily. And this year we will also be welcoming actor Tom Everett Scott, who from what I understand is still doing that thing he does. And Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains will be joining us this year in hopes of doing some good and making a difference.
Absolutely. We got 5 guys that are coming back this year, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to pick the draft dates, and then you can join the Sack Cancer League. We ask you to donate to the V Foundation. We'll have a donate page up for that. And again, all prize money that these 5 celebrities earn, they will donate to the V Foundation. Like you said, Fabs won a primetime league title. That was the year Derrick Henry got hurt. He had a chance. He was 13th overall heading into the championship round, and he really got hurt by Henry getting hurt. But he donated $7,000, and he was trying for $250,000. So if you win the $250,000, James, you will be giving it to Connor's Cure. How about in this format here? This one's $250,000. Can you give a little if you win the $250,000 here?
Give a little. I will give every penny of that $250,000 to Connor's Cure.
All right. Well, Team 5's trying to help you out here. So see if you can't win this thing. All right.
Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. I have to start thinking about my construction.
Yes, you're one away for crying out loud. And Herbert is not there right now. So, all right. We're going to give you a link, not tonight, but we'll have it on our site here pretty soon. Again, Sack Cancer, NFFC Primetime Leagues. We'll have 5 of them. They all filled quickly last year. Don't you want to go against James? Don't you want to go against The Miz? The Miz, he finished, I think, 3rd in his league, just missed. No, 4th. He was just missed the 3rd place and a chance for the championship round last year. He had a really good team, actually. All right, Justin Fields goes to Team 3.
And I got sniped. I got sniped, fellas. That was my move.
Oh, now the quarterbacks are going fast. 7 of them off the board right now.
I was going to try and supplement the Javonte thing with Justin Fields' rushing totals. Now I'm going to have to pivot.
Uh-oh.
See, I'm trying to engage with you guys, and as a result, I don't have any sort of backup plan, Greg.
Tom, give him somebody.
Let's see here. I don't know.
There's still one top QB left in the top tier there, James.
We like he of the flowing locks and the high-paced offense in Jacksonville. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what he's talking about.
All right,
just saying. There you go.
All right, you're blaming Tom if he has a bad year. All right.
I'll take that.
See, there's 8 good quarterbacks, and after that, it is a crapshoot. So I think you do want to get one of those top 8 if you can.
I think so.
So I did it. I'm in the top 8.
You're in the
I think
top
so.
8.
All right.
Well,
All right.
among quarterbacks, yes.
Okay, there we go. Team 1's got his running back now. Damian Pierce is his running back 1 after 4 straight wide receivers. I got to look back. Okay, teams 10 and 12 also did take a running back. So, well, we've got no RB. It's not completely no RB. Jumping in a little bit here, getting that 1 running back. So, Dom, are we seeing Fields and Lawrence going in the 5th round here? These top 8, are they all going within the top 60?
Yeah, I was actually just kind of scanning for some ADPs there. Uh, actually, Fields is gone. His min pick is 80, which is shocking to me. See, that's why I like Fields so much, is because I do think he's one of the elite quarterbacks, but for some reason, people just lay off him in drafts, and I don't understand it. Trevor Lawrence's low pick in the last week is 72, which I think is pretty low too. But to me, Fields has always been my target because for whatever reason, people just seem to let him fall in drafts, and I think he's the best value pick out of those top 8 guys. So he didn't fall obviously as far in this draft, neither did Lawrence. So I think James did a good job getting the last guy in that top tier.
All right, you're old school. Now you're going with 3 running backs.
The value seems to be there because no one wants them. So I'll take them.
Well, it's not that nobody wants them. It's just building a lot differently. Again, like Tom said, there's a lot of different ways you can skin this cat this year. You can see the different builds that we're seeing by everybody throughout. That's what makes it fun, right? So it makes it fun. All right, we're through 5+ rounds, less than 25 minutes here. These things cruise pretty easily. So we'll stick with James for the first 12, 13 rounds, and then we'll let him finish up strong. But we appreciate everybody being on here. These live streams have been a lot of fun. I'm going to do another one tomorrow night at 10 Eastern with Nelson Sousa. We'll see what he picks this week, if he gets the 2 pick. Bijan at 2 last week was must-see TV. It was a lot of fun as he tried to build his roster after that. All right. Do you have any regrets about not taking Burrow, though?
Probably. I'm not generally in the business of having to root for other players in the AFC South, so I don't love having Trevor. I don't love it.
You're old school with heart as
right.
well? Like you don't want to pick players in your own Titans division?
That's right. That's right. I try to avoid it if I can.
So you're a Titans fan because you were an Oilers fan, I assume, right?
That is correct.
What do you think
Hardcore.
about the Titans wearing the old Oilers blue?
I love it. Those are good-looking uniforms.
They are.
My boy Nate Bain, who runs Titans Social, has already equipped me with my Derrick Henry throwback jersey, which I will probably wear to Vegas, so get ready.
Oh, very good. Very good. But if you're a Texans fan, aren't you upset that they're wearing your blue? I mean, you still are Houston.
No, Bud Adams moved that team, and all the players that were Oilers were Tennessee Oilers the next year. And
that's true.
The history is with the franchise, not the city. I'll make that argument in a court of law, Greg.
All right. Why don't you you should have an Earl Campbell throwback too, don't you think?
That would be dope. But that sort of seems to be like a universally accepted thing that those Oiler uniforms were tip top.
Oh, they were the best. Love you blue.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They were the best, definitely. I always loved it when Earl Campbell had the tearaways then too. Guys would try to tackle him and they're just ripping pieces of jersey off him. You can just see his shoulder pads. He's just running through guys. So awesome.
Why don't you talk a little bit about Alexander Mattison and all of the upside that he has if he fills the same role that Dalvin has had for the last few seasons?
Because he's a Viking and we don't talk about a Viking because we're Packer fans. We don't think anything.
See how I set you up, Greg? I set you up for that.
I know it. I know. Tom, go ahead. Say something good about Alexander Mattison.
Well, I mean, the good news about Mattison is whenever he's been the starter there for Cook, he's been an RB1. He gets volume in that offense. Now, of course, we'll see what happens over the course of a full season. He's never really gotten that opportunity. So can he stay healthy for a full season? We'll see. I don't think he's an overly talented running back. It's a talent drop-off. Dalvin Cook is a special talent. Greg and I wanted the Packers to draft Dalvin Cook the year he came out. We were very disappointed they didn't. The Packers got lucky they waited a couple of rounds, got Aaron Jones, so it all kind of worked out. But it's a talent drop off from Cook to Madison, but Madison has been very productive when he's been a starter. So we'll just see what happens now that he gets a chance for a full season.
Let's just admit that we took Kevin King over TJ Watt.
I forget that.
And then
I want to forget that part and focus on the fact they got Aaron Jones in the same draft.
They didn't like to draft Wisconsin Badgers, so they passed on TJ Watt, traded down, got into the
I want to
second
forget
round.
that part too and focus on the fact they got Aaron Jones in the same draft.
All right. All right, I'm loving the builds here. I like 10 and 12. 12 is an interesting build here for sure. Again, 4 wide receivers for team 12, 4 wide receivers for team 10, 4 wide receivers to team 1, 2 wide receivers for team 2. So let's start seeing some yellow pretty soon over there, would you?
Yeah, I think it's time to shine a little sun on my draft.
Speaking of such, outside the window there, looks like it's a nice warm day in Los Angeles. Must be comfy, huh?
Warm as it can be, and it won't cool off until about 2 a.m.
Well, you got a sweatshirt on. It can't be that warm out there.
Well, I keep it nice and cool in the house, Greg.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an animal.
All right. We're going to let you concentrate on your next pick because we know we screwed you up the last time. All right.
Sure, you guys got me all mixed up in my mind.
Yeah. All right. Hey, don't forget you need a tight end at some point too. It's kind of like catchers in baseball.
They're the big guys who do the same thing as wide receivers, but block a little bit more.
All right, Tom. What did we learn tonight on the Hall of Fame game? Go ahead, give us a recap here.
Oh man, was I supposed to watch that game?
I'll give you the recap. Greg Zuerlein still has the leg. He hit 3 good first half.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. And then Wilson had a nice 57-yard completion. Actually, threw a nice ball. One nice ball.
My recap of the game was no starters played.
Right.
That's my recap.
That's pretty much it. All right, Team 5. They're starting to look at Team 5. He's got both Cook brothers, so we're interested in that. So there you go. All right, here are a couple of tight ends starting to go off the board here. Waller and Pitts. Njoku. Just starting to fly. Starting to see blue stickers here. 2, 4, 6, 7 of them off. I think there's 8 good ones. Just so you know, we're not pressuring you at all, though. All right, Team 4 with another 4 wide receiver build here. So we're seeing an awful lot of not old school builds in this draft.
Team 3 still only has 2 so far. We'll see what he does here.
So does Team 2. We'll see what both of these guys do. Oh, there's Dallas Goedert. That would be the 8th one.
All right. I'm looking at a couple of wide receivers here, gentlemen.
All right.
And there's a couple ways I can go. I can make a homer pick and see if Treylon Burks is up to the task of breaking out this season. I also like the idea of Courtland Sutton, since all those other receivers keep going down and leaving the team. And finally, there's old man Michael Thomas sitting there claiming that he's going to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. Thoughts?
What are your first 2?
So we don't like Thomas. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and take my Titan here.
Homer pick. Actually, had another highlight reel catch in training camp today, I saw.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it sounds like he's making more noise in camp than Newcastle so far, which is not the worst thing since he's our young guy and we kind of want him to be awesome.
Yeah, well, what about your quarterback? You think he can throw him the ball? You okay with Tannehill?
He's the epitome of a average NFL quarterback. So if you draw up the right scheme and you have some talent around him, we've seen worse quarterbacks win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Courtland Sutton's still sitting there. I could get him on the way back.
Yeah, despite you talking about him.
Do I want to? Am I ready to take someone like Pat Freiermuth? You know what? I'm not, guys. I'm gonna grab Courtland.
There you go. You got both guys that you wanted.
Not bad.
No, you're looking better now. That was a good turn for you, I think.
Thanks, guys. See, you can go old school, and there's still some interesting receivers.
Absolutely. Like Tom and I were saying though about the running backs. Round 6, Madison, Cook and Rashad White are there. Mixon falling all the way
Yeah.
to round 6 is interesting. Dobbins is upside. Miles Sanders is upside. I mean, Tom, that's what we've been talking about. There's teams that'll go 4 wide receivers and a quarterback, and then they're getting like Cam Akers, right? Or Dobbins at
Boy.
the 6-7 turn. So,
Yeah, I mean, look at Mixon in the 6, Akers
yep,
in the 7. That's a long way for those guys to be
right,
falling.
right.
Uh, yeah, I mean, boy, that's great value for those two guys. James Cook in the 6th, and Antonio Gibson. I mean, he's not a starting running back. He's in the committee, obviously, with Brian Robinson, but that's a guy. Derek and I have talked a lot about him in our Sirius show. We both like him a lot. And if you do have a top running back, now Team 4 really doesn't have that stud running back. But if you do have maybe a McCaffrey or Eckler, I think Gibson could be slotted in as an RB2 with the right lineup. He's more of a flex guy in a normal lineup, but I do think if you're playing that hero running back style, I think Gibson could be slotted in as an RB2. So not a bad guy to be getting in like round 8 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Pacheco going in round 8 isn't bad.
Yeah.
As long as he's healthy for week 1. So, yeah, again, team 6 starts out with 4 wide receivers and a tight end, and comes back with White, Akers, and Pacheco. That's not bad. That's not a bad weight, if you will, there. All right. And I agree with you on Gibson. I mean, I think they're going to split him out an awful lot. Robinson's going to be
Yep.
the first and second down ball carrier and stuff, but they're going to slot him out a lot. He should definitely get 50 plus receptions, and he'll still get some
Yep.
carries. So interesting. Even David Montgomery, again, we
Yeah.
talk about Montgomery going in the 7th round. He's going to be their RB1, if you will. They'll split out Gibbs a lot, but Gibbs has got such great upside, and he should catch 50 plus passes as well. So people that started out with the wide receiver heavy, they had some options here in round 6, 7, and even 8 right now. There's Alvin Kamara going to team 10. Again,
Are you guys way higher on the skill set for Gibbs than you were on the skill set for Swift?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll use, for whatever reason, the Lions just didn't like Gibbs or Swift, but Gibbs is a really good pass catcher. I think he's going to be, really a dynamic back this year. I could see him moving up at our live events, Tom, even higher into the 3rd round, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, he went, real high in this one, obviously, 34 overall here. But yeah, I think he's going to be one of those guys, like you said, we get to our live events and maybe even we start looking at like the diamonds and platinums. He could be one of those guys. Those owners in particular, we know how aggressive those guys are in those leagues, that they could be planting the flag on a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, definitely. There goes Zay Flowers towards the end of the 8th round. I just saw Peter King say he's never seen such a dynamic wide receiver early in camps like this kid. He said he thinks he's going to be the number 1 with Baltimore. We'll see how he meshes with Lamar, but interesting. Zay Flowers is getting an awful lot of love, and then he's got George Pickens. So an interesting build by Team 11. I like it with the Kelsey Barkley. He got Hurts. And he's got some upside in wide receivers here as well. Another upside wide receiver, Quentin Johnson from those Los Angeles Chargers. As Team 12 just keeps stacking them. There's your Michael Thomas going there. But holy cow, here you got 6 wide receivers right now, 2 running backs and a quarterback. Again, lots of different ways you can make a build here. Team 12, interesting. And Tom, Team 12, we've done these live streams, multiple ones already. This kind of seems like a build we're seeing from Team 12, aren't we? Where they go heavy on the wide receivers, take a quarterback early, and then kind of wing it on the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, and again, he's got a couple of good ones. I mean, I think Ramondre Stevenson's got some issues that I'm uncomfortable with, but I love the talent. I'm a big Ramondre Stevenson fan, but yeah, now he's ignored tight end, so he's clearly, going to be going after a tight end by committee approach, I would assume, at some point. But he's got the stud quarterback in Josh Allen, and like you said, he is loading up at wide receiver, and he's got some really good ones there. So he's going to have great wide receivers to choose from, and I'm assuming he's going to go with a wide receiver flex spot every week. So he's going to be choosing from some really interesting choices there for his wide receiver 4 every week.
Yeah, definitely. Team 11 kind of doing the same thing, but he got his tight end right away. But
Yeah.
really big upsides with Pickens, Flowers, and Jamison Williams. Again, Williams is an interesting one, right? He's going to be suspended the first 6 weeks, but he's the type of player that Lions offense is going to be explosive. If he could get in there weeks 15, 16, 17, when he got a chance to win the $250,000 grand prize, that's an interesting pick with Jameson Williams going in round 9.
What are we thinking about Lamar potentially, being in an offense where he's asked to throw the ball a lot more this year? How do we feel about that?
Well, he's getting a lot of love right now in our drafts. He's been going ahead of Burrow or right near where Burrow has been going. Obviously, tonight he goes in the second round, which might be a max pick for him. But listen, if he could just stay healthy, I like him in any offense, right? Maybe he doesn't want to run as much, but he'll still scramble when the pocket breaks down. I like the upside of Lamar. The key is just got to stay healthy, right, Tom?
Yeah, no, I love Lamar. Yeah, it's all about staying healthy. Just keep him healthy for a whole season. And, you just got done talking about Zay Flowers. If they can keep him, they keep Bateman healthy with Zay Flowers. And I mean, Beckham's not going to be the guy he once was, or even the guy he was with the Rams a couple of years ago. But, 70% of Beckham is a big addition to that offense. Obviously, Mark Andrews, you know how good he is. And if they can keep Dobbins healthy, they are loaded offensively. So, yeah, I love Lamar this year.
Yeah. Keep Dobbins not only healthy, but happy, right? I mean, he wants a new contract, so that might be part of why we're not seeing him too much in camp here.
Right.
That one's a little tricky. I mean, you've got guys that have put up all-pro seasons saying, I deserve to get paid, and then you've got Dobbins who's showed a few flashes, but you could make the argument that he hasn't really done it yet.
No.
You got to do it at least once, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. No, I agree with that one. Not everybody deserves to get paid at running back.
Yeah.
All right. Man, I got sniped again.
What'd you want?
I was going to take Rashad Penny. He's a starting running back, man.
You are so running back in love. It's unreal.
I'm just seeing all this value, and it makes me giddy. What's Kadarius Toney's deal? He's going to be out if he's too much of an. Where has he become a value?
Tom, what do you got for ADPs there on Tony?
Looking at if I have to scroll, I gotta scroll down a little bit here, James.
88 he's been going. This last week he's gone 88.
Yeah, his low pick in the last week's about after a top 100. So,
all right, I'm gonna take a flyer here because I don't need to start him, but I do want the upside of a potential number one in that offense.
Neither one of us.
And now I have it.
Neither one of us clapped after that pick, just so you know.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Look, you got to take shots in these big tournaments, Greg.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do. That's right. Nobody's won the 250 playing it safe.
No, his ADP is 88, so I mean, you got a value there, no doubt. And that's his last week he's been.
I think I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet here and take a tight end.
I knew you were going to do that. You talked about him. You talked about him like 3 rounds ago.
Everybody's got to start one.
Yeah.
Pat Freiermuth's still sitting there. So is Chiggy. I don't know if I need 2 members of the Titans receiving corps.
That might be too many. That might be too many.
I think it's one or the other situation. You're right. All right, I'm going to go with Big Pat.
There you go.
He's not super exciting, but I like the floor. I like the floor there.
There you go. All right, now you're starting to do it. Now you're starting to get in a groove here. We're liking this. You have your starters taken care of right now, other than, of course, defense and kicker, which don't do that right now, please.
No, it's too early for that, Greg.
Yeah. All right, so how do you manage baseball and football? You're doing both of them. Does your baseball suffer now or what?
My baseball teams are usually way out of it at this point, so there's rarely a year where I have to do double duty.
Listen, you once finished top 20 overall in the main event.
I'm still living off that finish. Yeah. But no, I'm gonna have to pay attention to one of my main baseball teams down the stretch, which is very exciting for me.
So we were talking.
I got there.
Go ahead.
I got there with a lot of overachieving pitching in the first half, so I'm worried that one by one they're all gonna come back down to earth, and that's gonna be it for me. Joe Ryan was one of them. Josiah Gray, John Gray. I lost Shane McClanahan to the IR today, so writing could be on the wall. But I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna keep fighting.
Yep. Keep working in Fab. We were talking about you on Monday. We had a live stream draft with Matthew Davis. Last year, he made the cut line, or no, it was a couple years ago. He made the cut line championship final table of 12. And I mentioned you did as well. I think that was either 2020 or 2021. And you were going to give the money to the V Foundation, which you did. But it was 100,000 between you and 11 other people. Talk about that final table, though. I mean, it's kind of like poker. When you get to the final table, you got a 1 in 12 chance now of 100,000 riding on week 17. Just kind of talk about the thrill. It was a thrill, right?
It was very exciting. I love the format. I've actually done it twice.
Right.
The first time I got there, I was destroyed by a kicker who missed, I think, 3 field goals in one game, and that would have been a huge difference maker for me. And then this last time I got there was the game where Alvin Kamara went off and scored 6 touchdowns, and I think 6 of the guys at the final table had Kamara, so that was game, set, match for the rest of us.
Yeah. That was like Christmas Day, too. It just ruined your Christmas Day.
It really took the fun out of it. Like, there wasn't even any mystery.
Right.
It was a pretty big buzzkill.
Yeah.
But it is fun getting to that final table because you just, you realize anything can happen,
Right.
and it's, you've seen so many other players come and go, and you're one of 12. You kind of feel like Highlander,
See, that's when you get to the 1 of 12, you need a Kamara, and you're like, yeah, this is how lucky I am. I have Kamara now and 54 points in the books, right? No, it's the opponents who had him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But that seems to have been that seems to be my sweet spot on the football side. I've certainly had the most success in cut line. So thanks for inventing that, guys.
Yes, you're welcome. It took a while actually to get someone to program it for us. We had invented it a couple years earlier. We couldn't convince Stats to ever program it, then they finally did. So, all right, let's see what Team 12 does here. I'm intrigued on 12 here. Does he dig into the tight ends here or not? Team 9 doesn't have a tight end, and that's it.
I think we could be seeing Chiggy go off the board soon.
Yeah. He says no to the tight end right here. Let's see what he does. He gets his 3rd running back, which makes sense. And does he play chicken with the tight ends here? Again, 9 and 12 do not have a tight end, so we'll see. Oh, we can't wait forever. Come on, dude. All right. All right, so if you come out to Vegas, that is September 7th through the 9th. We are actually watching the Thursday night game in the Sportsbook bar. I've got an area reserved. I don't know if you're in town that early or not, but Tom and I enjoyed drinking with you last time. But Park MGM, we're going to be at.
Love that place. Smoke free.
Smoke free. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Who knew? Who knew that something like that would ever happen in our lifetime?
All right, Team 12 does not take a tight end. Goes with the upside of Kendre Miller and Eli Mitchell. So, all right, well, just let us know when you get out there. We'll hook up with you.
That live weekend is the 7th through the 9th, you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a second Vegas weekend?
Yeah, that is the second weekend. The first weekend is Labor Day weekend, the 1st and 2nd.
All right, so I'll be in New York that weekend, so it'll have to be the second.
Okay. That'd be cool to get a live Sack Cancer League. That'd be awesome out there.
Yes, it would. I can talk to Tom too about
that'd be
see
cool.
what his schedule looks like. Maybe we could get 2 live.
All right. Are you going to do a video tomorrow when you see Thomas?
Yes, we're gonna do a little. We're going to see his daughter play some live music at a venue here in Los Angeles, and we will make a little video beforehand.
What about the Miz? I thought you were going to hook up with him out in Los Angeles.
Well, he's got that full-time.
He's got SummerSlam, doesn't he, or something?
Thing that's happening this weekend. So
that's right.
He's wherever that is.
All right. Team 9 did take a tight end. So Team 12, the only one right here that did not take a tight end. Greg Dulcich, upside in Peyton's offense there. So.
I'm going to try to be a little more prepared on this turn.
Yeah,
guys.
we're not even going to talk to you.
I'm putting some dudes in the queue. What?
Hey, Kirk Cousins, he was in quarterback. I don't know, James, if you watched that. That was really good on Netflix. They followed Kirk
Yep.
Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota. So now they're trying to find 3 quarterbacks to do the same thing. And people are surprised. Like these guys, the Camry guys lived with them at their home and everything for a full year and did a really, really, really good job. It's really good. So Peyton Manning was in Green Bay this week, like kind of trying to convince him, I think, to follow Jordan Love, which would be pretty good. But the last thing Jordan Love needs is to have cameras following him every day. So they're going to.
That's true. There's a lot of pressure on the kid as it is. I'll say this, Kirk. I thought Kirk came off as a pretty solid dude.
No doubt. I gave him some respect. That dude was getting hit pretty hard last year, and we all knew, that he took a lot of hits. But with the microphone right in his chest there, yeah, I gave him a lot of respect. I mean, the guy is an upstanding citizen, and unfortunately he plays for the Vikings, but that's okay, I guess. But so you did see the series then, huh?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It's well done.
And, I'm looking forward to more. Mariota was a strange choice. I mean, I like him. He was our guy for a while, and he's also a good dude. But it makes me feel like a lot of guys passed.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting choice. He gets benched, and then he goes to Hawaii. That was kind of a strange twist, if you will.
I think that made it pretty good for the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mahomes winning the Super Bowl made it pretty good for the show.
That made it fantastic for the show.
And then building his new house, I guess, was interesting.
Yeah. But I think the fact that they had somebody who, didn't have a great year and ended up getting benched and left the team, I think that turned out pretty good for the show.
Yeah, definitely. Team 6 did not get one of the top 8 quarterbacks, so he goes Tua and Goff. And that's honestly the way you got to go almost, right?
Yep.
He teams up Tua with Waddle. Heck, I did that in our GTD auction. I told you I felt naked at the end of that thing, but I couldn't get a top quarterback. You outbid me for Fields, so I had Waddle. I go, I got Tua and Rodgers. That's what I went with that one. So
No, I think if you do miss out, you're going to have to play the quarterback roulette game all year.
Yep.
I think that's the only way to do it.
Yep, and we're seeing that right here now. Team 8 took Cousins. That was his QB1. Team 10 took Dak. Whoa, James is going with the backup, huh? Upside, baby.
I figure I might as well just go all in on AFC South quarterbacks that aren't Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, Rashid Rice, too. What have you been reading?
Well, someone has got to...
Yeah.
Someone's going to step up, I think, maybe in that offense. And I figured I'd take 2 bites of the apple and take my chances.
There you go.
I'm going to make that beeping stop.
All right. Sounds good. Tony and Rice, that's an interesting one. Could be by the end of the season. Could have at least one of those as top wide receiver in that offense.
Yeah, like you just said, somebody else besides Travis Kelce's got to catch the ball there. So
yeah, good catch there, James. Goff St. Brown is another one. Waddle Tua. Yep, that's a good combination there. I like that. Team 3 teaming up Fields with Rodgers. So we're getting people taking QB2s here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the stacks here. You're right. Team 6 is one. We didn't get a whole lot of them tonight, though.
Team 10's got Dak and CD Lamb. So
there you go. Yep, the Herbert did not get anybody. Kirk.
I couldn't even get Kirk. Kirk came off the board before I thought he would.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Richardson's an interesting one. Now, he needs Taylor in that backfield, though. I mean, seriously, if he doesn't have a good back in the backfield and he's a rookie quarterback, it's going to be tough. But if he can play action with Jonathan Taylor, then he's got some upside, I think. So he'll be interesting to watch.
Yep.
Yeah, because who fills that role if Taylor holds out? Who do they even have? Is that Deion Jackson territory?
Yep. As of right now,
Oof.
yeah.
So what's your thoughts on your Titans in that division?
My thoughts on the Titans is that if they were in any other division, there would be no reason to talk about them. But because they're in the South,
They got a chance.
and they do have a chance. Look, everybody's on the Jacksonville train, but here's the truth. If Ryan Tannehill is healthy and we're not throwing Malik Willis and Josh Dobbs out there the last couple weeks of the season, the Titans probably win that division, which means the Jacksonville Jaguars don't make the playoffs. They don't pull off that miracle win against the Chargers, and that's not the thing that we're all judging them on. We're judging them on just another losing season. So it was a tale of a couple weeks there, and that's why I think the Titans with a decent quarterback and a better offensive line, and you add DeAndre Hopkins, dude, I think they're going to be in it against those other three teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely got a chance. Anybody can win that division. Well, maybe not anybody, but yeah, it's wide open. Texans should be much better this year for sure. So
that'll be an interesting one to watch. They're truly, that's a true rebuild, and that's always kind of fun.
Yep. All right, we'll let you go after round 13 here. We'll watch your turn picks, and then we'll go again tomorrow night. We've got a live stream with Nelson Sousa. That's always fun. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern time on the High Stakes Fantasy Network. Next Monday, we've got to beat Chris Vaccaro. We're bringing in the Hall of Famer. Going to do it Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern time, so we'll have some fun with that one as well. These live streams are fun, James. I mean, people are just sitting around reading about content. Hey, let's see people put their money where their mouth is and see who they pick. So we've been doing a lot of these. In fact, we had 5 this week, 5 last week, and probably going to do 5 more next week. So it should be fun.
Gives you gentlemen something to do.
Well, I mean, we could be doing something else, but it's kind of fun. It's always good to talk with you.
You can't just float around in a pontoon all day, Greg.
No, you can. Actually, you can. We don't get good weather very often. We've got this 30-day period, if you will. So you must be outside at all times if possible.
Is that the period that you're in now?
Yeah, we're in that period right now. Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, in that case, get out of here, man.
Today was what? Well, today was like 81, but it's been like 78, 79, 81. I mean, it's just perfect to be out on a pontoon with your dog and drinking.
That does sound nice, Greg.
Yeah, you got to come see me sometime.
I've never been to, I don't think I've ever been to Wisconsin. I got to check that box.
So you've never been to Lambeau Field. You've never been to Wisconsin.
Yeah. I don't even think I've ever had like a layover there. No, I need to, I need to break through.
So I've got tickets for the Chiefs play at Lambeau Field in December, and my daughter wants to go with me, and I said, yes, you can go with me on that day. So she's like, oh, it might be kind of cold. I didn't realize it's a Sunday night game, though. That's exactly what they do to Packer fans, right? Oh, the frozen tundra, this is going to be so great. And yet we sit there on a Sunday night on December 3rd.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
But I do have Jordan Love in my one dynasty league. I made a pretty big swap this offseason because that's how I do it, fellas. I fly close to the sun. I won it 2 years ago. I finished runner-up last year, and then I dealt Joe Burrow for Cooper Kupp, Jordan Love, and a third-round draft choice. So I got a lot riding on Jordan. I believe in the kid, and I just need him to be, decent.
Yeah.
I don't even need him to be extraordinary. Just be decent, Jordan.
Yeah. I think he'll be fine. I really do. I think the offense is going to be run first option. That's what it's going to be predicated on. 2 tight ends, so a lot of dump off passes possibly, but I think he's going to be better than people think. Rodgers' first year, 26 touchdown passes, 14 interceptions, 4,000 plus yards.
Take that.
Yeah, I know. Not that many interceptions though. We don't want.
Yeah, take that all day.
There you go. Team 12 did get his tight end. We said we were going to stick around until then. Eagles go off the board. First defense, round 13.
Oh, wow.
All right, so James, we're going to watch your last 2 picks, and then we're letting you
go.
So wow us, if you could, with these 2 picks.
Yeah, well, let's see here.
Don't tell us now. You got a long ways to go. Don't give any.
That's true. I don't want to start giving people.
Don't give any. Yeah, right. So, but wow us. Wow. Hey, you did have fun at our baseball drafts at the Mirage, didn't you? That was a cool day, I thought.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it had been a while since I was able to draft live. I've been stuck up in Vancouver for the better part of, the last decade. So it was good to get back and see some humans. You guys are still a couple of stallions yourselves, aging like fine cabs. And, yeah,
I think those are all compliments, and we appreciate them.
It's a good It's a good time, man. We can all just sort of nerd out and not feel judged or shamed.
That's right. So what's on the agenda for you acting wise? Your character's been killed off, and now what?
Absolutely nothing until we
Yeah.
make a deal with the producers. So it's kind of a forced vacation,
Yeah.
which is the only kind of vacation I know how to take. But my lovely partner and I are planning a move East Coast in the fall.
Really?
So be New York based for a while. I might have to do a live New York draft at some point. You guys, you don't know.
Wow.
You don't know how I roll.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, that'll be exciting. I've been trying to get back to New York forever and ever now. So
Cool. All right. I bet you've got some project you're either directing or producing lined up.
yeah, there's a couple things that we kind of had to put down
See.
that I'm excited about. But the good news is I'll be able to pick them right back up.
Good.
And jump right back in.
All right.
Look, I'm almost up, you guys.
All right. We'll leave you go. This is how we're going to end it. We thank you, everyone, for joining us, but we're going to wait for 2 more stellar picks. James, you're building
All
a
right.
good team here. I like your team, actually.
I appreciate that, Greg. This is the part of the draft where I say, you know what? Let me get in on that Carolina passing offense. You know?
Really?
I'm looking at Thielen and Shark, and I think and Mingo. I mean, one of these guys I think is gonna WR1 it for a kid that I think everybody's pretty excited about watching at quarterback. And while Adam Thielen would be a safe pick, we're not making safe picks tonight.
Upside here.
So I think it's either DJ Chark if he stays healthy, or Mingo the rookie, and I'm gonna go Chark here as your sneaky guy who can make noise.
I just read today that him and Young are on the same page, and Chark has been standing out as the wide receiver 1. Just read about that.
Feels good. It feels real good, fellas.
I'm proud of you there.
Thanks, man.
Tom, are you proud or anything? I mean, come on. He just called you a young stallion.
I'm still recovering from the young stallion comments, but I think that there's 3 good options there. So yeah, I think I've always liked DJ Chark, so I like the pick there. Again, you're not playing it safe at this point. Go for some upside, and I like DJ Chark. Nice pick.
All right. We're giving you 1 pick, and then we're letting you go. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, James. It was fun hanging with you. Thanks for doing this. And again, get that video out. Man, we'd love to see you in Las Vegas. And NFFC Primetime Sack Cancer Leagues. Money goes to Connor's Cure of the V Foundation. Let's raise $250,000 plus this year if we could.
That's the plan. That's always the plan. This is the year that we make good on
That's
it.
been the plan. It was a great idea you had in 2020. I'm glad we've been able to work together on it. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm really appreciative of you guys for being open to it and for recognizing that it's a real opportunity from a gigantic community. Guys like Scott Fish had the idea, way before I did. So we're really just paying it forward.
Yep, definitely. All right, there goes your Adam Thielen.
There goes my. I'm going to sign off here. I want to do something that makes you guys feel good. I want to go off on a nice note here.
Okay.
So let's see.
Picking a Packer would make us feel good, just so you know.
Well, that feels nice.
But don't do it here. You don't have to do it. I can't think of any Packer that'd be available.
Well, Jaden Reed is sitting there.
Yes.
All right. It's done.
I like it. He's our slot receiver. Thanks for hanging with us, James. Be good. We'll see you in Vegas, all right?
All right, guys. Take care of
yourselves.
yourselves.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you much. We'll see you.